Hey, this is Jackie from Plan a Healthy Life, and in this video I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough of the new Peach Undated Annual Planner. So I am in GoodNotes right now looking at the planner, and this is the first page, the cover page, which is pretty generic, and you're probably not going to be using the cover page often, but you do have the opportunity to decorate this little notepad if you'd like. Then on the second page, and I'm just going to swipe over here, this is your index page. And just like all of the pages in the planner, you have clickable links with the tabs on the top and the monthly tabs along the side. And also I just want to point out too that this link, I'm going to swipe to the back page again, this link that you're going to see on every single page in the upper left hand corner links to the index page. So you can always go home to the index page or table of contents using that little shape icon over there. So on this index page, you can add your name using text or using handwriting, or you can add images there. You can decorate it how you like. And what you're going to see is 6 spaces to label the notebook sections you have at the top of the planner. So as you see, when I click on the first tab here, this is basically a blank notebook section. And each one is the same. They have that cover. And then there are 4 blank 2-page spreads. You have this peach border, you have lined paper, you have a grid paper, and then you have totally blank paper. And the reason I did this is so that you can tailor it to the pages that you enjoy, but I want to make it easy. So rather than not putting any pages behind each of the tabs, they all have those 4 pages, and you can simply and quickly duplicate the pages that you like. So for example, if you're in this second tab, as I am here, and you decide you like this border page, all you need to do, I'm going to turn off on my editing here, is to click a plus button here, and where it says current template, just click on that, and you've duplicated that page. So see, there you have 2 right there, and you can go ahead and do the same process to add other pages. So each of these tabs is a separate section. Let me go back to where I can click on the tabs. And you can use these notebook sections just for anything that you want. You can use one for journaling, for a gratitude log, you can do meal planning in a section, you can practice writing and doodling in one, however you choose. It's just like a blank notebook. So let me go back to the index page again, and I'm going to show you now the monthly pages and the weekly spreads. So each of the months, I'm going to click on January, has a month layout that is the same, and it's undated here. You can add the dates right inside the circles, and I'll show you how I did that on my planner in just a bit. But it's pretty simple. There's a section over to the side. You can decorate, you can add notes. I like to put some of my goals in that section on the left hand side, and then you have space to write whatever is happening in your life in that month. And so I'll just click on February. I've used that same color scheme along the top, those 6 colors, and I've just used each of those twice for all 12 months. So let's look at the weekly spread. Now, the weekly spread is probably a little bit different from what you've seen. This is the spread that I love. I've been using this for probably at least 4 years, and it's also what's in my printable planners that I've been selling for the last couple years in my shop on my website. I like this a lot because I'm a person who is a planning minimalist. I want to spend very little time planning. I want to make it really simple to check things off when they're done. But more than that, I know that life happens and things are going to move around, and I'll show you in my planner how I do that. But I want something that is going to be simple for me to move from day to day. You know, those things that we want to get done and they never get done. And I want it structured in a way that I don't have to recreate the wheel and come up with a spread each week. I don't want to spend a lot of time decorating my planner or being super creative in it, because I want to take my creativity and use it for other things. So like I have a memory keeping planner that I like to use. But let me just show you, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, how I use the planner, and it'll make a lot more sense when I show you on my own. But the top blank section of all of the days is where I like to put appointments or things that are happening on that day that have to happen at a certain time. So a dentist appointment or soccer practice or even work, things like that would go in that top box. And again, this is just how I use it, and it just makes most sense to me. And then on the lines underneath that are to-dos I want to get done on that day. And a lot of times they get done, sometimes they don't, and then I'll move them to another day. But those are the things I want to get planned for that particular day. And then the dinner section, I usually, sometimes a week in advance, I'll jot down what we plan to have for dinner on those particular days. And then the goals and priorities are what is important to me this week. Like it could be a work project, it could be planning someone's birthday party, it could be I need to focus on my self-care. But I like to kind of remind myself of what is important in my life, and I put that under the goals and priorities section. And then you have the home section, and for me, how I use that is for things that have to happen around the house, like maybe it's meal prep, or maybe it's dusting or vacuuming, you know, those boring things that we have to do each week and sometimes need a little reminder. And then you have this box here with a dot grid in that, and that's where I sometimes put to-dos that I want to get done on this particular week, but they don't have to be assigned a particular day. I'll get them done when I have time, and I'll pull from there. And then on the other side, you're going to see is the habit tracker, because I'm like big on healthy habits, whether it's meditating or taking a walk outside or eating a certain number of servings of vegetables, or it could be anything, journaling, whatever. I always track some things, and those change from time to time, but I like having the habit tracker right in here. And then the last thing you'll notice on the weekly spread is the future planning log. And this is stuff I need to add to future weeks. So if I'm in my planner and I schedule a dentist appointment for the next month, I'll just write that here. And then when I'm doing my weekly planning, I can add it to that particular week, or it's something I want to be reminded of in the future. And that's how I use it. But going back to the monthly spread, what I want to point out too is that each of the weeks links to a weekly spread. So first let's look at that. Under January there's 5 weekly spreads, okay? And then we're on February. So if I click on this box here, anywhere in that first box, this is week 1. And then if I click on this, it's going to be week 2, okay? And so forth. So you can always, from that calendar view, access any of the weekly spreads. And that is basically it for the planner. It has, as you can see, the monthly pages with the links, the weekly spreads. On each of the weekly spreads, of course, you can go to any of the tabs. You can go back to the index page at any time. So I'm just going to give you just a quick overview of how I have used my planner. And let me go back to my folders and my planner. Okay, so let me go to my index page where I have added my name. And in my planners, I tend to use text almost exclusively rather than my handwriting. It's easier to read. I don't know, I just like using text. So I have already named some of my planner sections, as you can see. These are the tabs up at the top. I have planner stickers, I have blog ideas, and meal plans. And I don't have a lot under those things. I'm just going to click on the stickers. I labeled this here. And then I put in there the actual font that I used in the planner if I want to use that to label the weekly or the monthly spreads. And then I have like Sophia Day and Cece Day are my babysitting days each week, and I just copy and paste that into the particular week, and I'll show you that. And then these planner stickers, so that's about all that I have because I'm not super decorative in mine. These are just images that I got from the internet and I copied and colored in the Procreate app. So they were someone's original drawings that I basically recopied, but since this planner is for my own personal use and I'm not selling those stickers, it's okay. So that's something just for your own information. If you find images on the web and this planner is just for your personal use, you can always just use them, and you can, like I did, copy and color them, or you can just use them basically as stickers in your planner. So I started the planner in October. I started working with this one. And so this is my overview of the month. And as you can see, it's very boring. I don't tend to look at my monthly plan an awful lot. So I'll put birthdays or holidays in, like I have Halloween down here. But most of it is sort of like work things that I want to get accomplished, so I can kind of visualize the month at a glance. And as I said, each of the weekly lines in the monthly calendar goes directly to the weekly spread. And so here, this is the first week I started using the planner in here. And as you can see, it's very minimalist. I have my typing, and when I check something off, I usually just use the highlighting feature. I'll add pictures on my babysitting days. I added that digital sticker in here, but that's about all, because like I said, I prefer to spend my creativity on other things than my planner. But for me, it's easy to move things around and copy and paste them and that type of thing. So here's another week in the planner. As you can see, I did the habit tracker a little bit different. So what you're gonna see in my planner is I will use the shape tool, and I will use color as my main decoration, I guess, in the planner. And then I just basically outlined the walking outside, the journaling, the meditating with colors, and then I checked off the boxes when I was done. Sometimes I will put boxes around things I want to get accomplished. There's really no rhyme or reason. That's just sort of how I make it a little more whimsical and fun. But for the most part, mine is very, very simple. And I'm recording this on October 30th, and so this is my planner so far this week. I changed things up on my habit tracker with the different colors. Looks like I need to get to meditating since it's Wednesday and I haven't done it yet. And that's basically how I use it. Like I said, I have the goals and priorities. Like my dad's got a little health scare, so I just want to make sure that he's first and foremost in my mind. I don't have my meal plan written on here, shame on me, but I do have it done. And essentially that is it. I have the dates in for November, and I'll show you one other thing. This is a very generic version of my weekly activities that are the same from week to week, and I copied and pasted them. So you'll notice like almost every single thing that I have here appears in the prior weeks, but here I like maybe outlined it with color. But these are things that I do every week, and for me it makes no sense to recreate the wheel. So basically what I did, I'll show you how I did it right here. I added my activities that are the same each week. So the certain household chores, doing graphics for my hashtag games. That's about it. I don't really tend to do a lot of worky stuff in the planner. But then when I have all those in, I'm going to use the selection tool, and I just want to make sure that handwriting and images, everything is selected. And I'm just going to basically draw a line around everything that I have here and click on it again, and I'm going to copy it. Oops, undo. Let's do this again. All right. I'll draw my line. Click. Copy. Now, did I hit cut? Let's paste that back there. And I'm going to go to the next week. Now I already have it pasted on the next week. I'm just going to keep going. See, I already was ahead of myself there. Ooh, I sure did that a lot, didn't I? Because again, it doesn't change. So let's go back to January. And we'll paste it here. So if you have things, let's just line it up. That looks pretty good. If you have things that recur from week to week, that's a simple way that you can do it as well. Just copy and paste for future weeks, and you can easily delete something if it's not happening, or you can add things. And again, decorate it how you see fit. So that is it for the Peach Planner. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. And